All right, let's talk about drain remodels real quick. This one is inside a spa, indoor pool and spa combo. All right, there is only one suction line in this spa, and it was in the wall over here where you see this 3-inch pipe coming out. Except it was not done properly. So when we removed the cover from the wall, what we found is basically a return underneath it that had been repurposed and run with spa flex. So what we're doing as our scope of work is we have connected to the 2-inch spa flex behind the wall, and then bushed up to 3-inch plumbing. Back behind here, we've already backfilled, but we've got a 3-inch T back there, and measured from the front of the wall here where my fingers are, we've got an 18-inch separation from where the drain cover will go to where the bushing is for it to reduce down, and that's per ANSI PHDA 7. All right, so now we're going to have 2 suction outlets. In this situation, we have one on the wall and one on the floor. If you have 2 on the floor or 2 on the same plane, according to the code, they have to be separated by 36 inches, center to center. All right. Since these are on a separate plane, they're not required to be on. They're not required to have that same separation. Now, once we pour the concrete, plaster, mud rings, cut the pipe back, we will have that separation. So we're good to go here. The reason that we chose to do 3-inch pipe is because we wanted to increase the flow rate that these are capable with. The property here would like to eventually put a larger pump on this spa and be able to move more water. All right. And so we came to the installation manual for the drain covers that we bid, which are SDX2. And we looked at the pipe size and the orientation and the flow rating. All right. And so we chose to go with 3-inch pipe size so that we could have a flow rating of 180 gallons per minute, okay, mounted on the floor. Looking at the maximum suction pipe size, we are limited to 136 gallons per minute through a 3-inch pipe. The 1.5 inches that they had here, our maximum gallons per minute would have been 37. So we did not have a choice but to upsize the system. Other page. Looking at the diagram here, when I mentioned that we have an 18-inch separation, okay, that's measured from the face of the pipe in the sump down to the bushing here. And we have 18 inches. The minimum for this cover is actually 16 inches, so we wanted to go well over what the minimum was so that there wouldn't be any questions. Okay, and so our sump is going to look a lot like this one here once we're done, where there is, again, a minimum of 1 inch for the minimum sump depth here. We're going to have about a 2-inch deep. We're going to call it a sump, but it's not a true sump. Field fabricated concrete bowl. Okay. I've got the fitting here that was in the wall that they were using as a suction fitting. This honestly looks like a fiberglass pool return fitting, or possibly a vinyl liner pool return fitting. Definitely not for the application in which it was used. So once we get our rebar tied in, that's what you see here. We've got, it's not all the way in place. We'll hammer it into place and then we'll bend it down into X's so we can get some more rebar in here. This area that we're working in, side to side, we have maybe 20 inches. So we're in a real tight space. We can't drill and pin rebar efficiently. So we're going to end up bending it into X's so we can get some extra rebar into this shell. And then once we get our concrete in, our mud frame, we'll just go over the top here. We'll cut the pipe down, same on the wall over there. And then the SDX2 retro mounting plate here, we'll go on top of that, and then the cover. So this cover is rated for sumpless application as long as we have a minimum of 1 inch of separation from the cover to the top of the pipe. And so I'll add in some pictures and video once we've got the mud frames in and the plaster poured.